we're going to try another trig substitution example. And I want to emphasize again that when the things to look for in the integrand when you're thinking about trig substitution is that you have a square root of either a sum or difference of perfect squares. And we do have that here. So notice that the denominator, the square root of x squared minus 25, is a square root of a difference of perfect squares. And when we have this form that looks like x squared minus a squared, we substitute for x a secant theta, where a, for us, is going to be 5. And of course, we also will need the differential dx. So let's go ahead with our example and set up our substitution. So x will be 5 secant theta. And the reason for this substitution is because when we substitute it into the square root, we will be able to use a trigonometric identity, one of the Pythagorean identities, so that we can turn a difference into a product and be able to take out the square root. So, okay, so x is 5 secant theta, then dx will be the derivative times d theta, so that's going to be 5 secant theta tangent theta d theta. And let's write our integral in terms of theta. So in the numerator we have x, which is 5 secant theta. In the denominator we have the square root of x squared, which is 25 secant squared theta, minus 25. And then dx now has to be written in terms of theta, and that will be 5 secant theta tangent theta d theta. Okay, let's work on simplifying the denominator, the square root. So I'm going to just work on this separately outside of the integral so that we can take a look at it more carefully. And because both of these terms within the square root have a 25 in common, I'm going to factor out 25 so that we're left with secant squared theta minus 1. Okay, so this is where we use a trigonometric identity. Secant squared theta minus 1 is a Pythagorean identity, and that's equal to tangent squared theta. So this becomes the square root of 25 tangent squared theta, which is 5 tangent theta as long as theta is in the first quadrant. Okay, so there we are. That's our denominator, and we can see that we're going to have some cancellation. So let's go back to our integral. In the numerator, we still have that 5 secant theta. Now in the denominator, we have 5 tangent theta, since we simplified the square root. And then we still have a 5 secant theta tangent theta d theta from that differential dx. And I'm going to cancel out this 5 and this tangent. And I'm also going to factor out the 5 outside of the integral, since that's just a constant. And then I can see that we have secant times secant, so that gives us secant squared theta d theta. Okay, well, we have a function whose derivative is secant squared. That's tangent, so this will be 5 tangent theta plus c. But don't forget that we still need to change our final answer to be in terms of x, not theta. So let's go back to our original substitution, which was x equals 5 secant theta. So I'm going to write that here. X is 5 secant theta. And that tells us the relationship between x and theta. So this tells us that if I divide both sides by 5, secant theta is x over 5. And we know that in a right triangle, secant is the ratio, it's the reciprocal of cosine, so it's the ratio of the hypotenuse to the adjacent side. If we position our acute angle here, so if cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So I'm going to label the hypotenuse x, the adjacent side 5. We could use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing length, but I know that it's going to be the same as the square root that we started with up here, which is going to be the square root of x squared minus 25, and you can check that if you would like. But so this is going to be the square root of x squared minus 25, and we can finally write our answer in terms of x. So we have 5 times tangent theta is opposite over adjacent, so that will be the square root of x squared minus 25 divided by 5 plus c. 5's cancel, and our final answer is the square root of x squared minus 25 plus c.